My name is Eddie Orantes, and I'm the Director of Business Operations for the Office of Alumni Affairs at Auburn University. And for the next 30 minutes, your host of 18 minutes and 56 seconds, the Auburn Alumni Association Speaker Series. To see all of our shows, you can go to aub.ie 1856 series. We want to keep this fast moving, so all of our guests will talk, present, and do whatever they do for no more than 18 minutes and 56 seconds. And we want to hear from you, especially today. So we ask that you put those questions up on Facebook and interact by leaving those comments. We will do our best to answer them in the half hour that we have together. Today, my guest is Allen Greene, Athletic Director of Auburn University. Allen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Eddie, for having me. War Eagle.
War Eagle, I'm so glad you were able to make it. I know that it's been a packed day for you, so the fact that you squeezed us in, we're very grateful. There's a lot that we get to cover in a short period of time, and I want to do my part to, as much as possible, share with our Facebook friends a different side to Allen Greene. Because yes, you are the athletic director, and some of the highlights of what you have done so far since January 2018 as our 15th Auburn AD. You have 22 Auburn programs that finished in top 25, 8 programs that finished in the top 10, 177 athletes that earned their degrees, 331 named to the SEC Academic Honor Roll, and something that our viewers may or may not know is just what you do on the national level as well. I know that you are very active and engaged in the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics, in which you were recently named to serve as the executive committee member. So congratulations on that. These are things that our viewers may or may not know. And so I want to share something different than you. Can we start first by getting to know you as a person? I would love for you to tell us your story, what your upbringing was like, about the family, your collegiate life, your professional life, and who you are now as an Auburn man. Can we do that?
We can, Eddie. Sure.
Wonderful. So tell us about yourself.
Yes. So first of all, again, thanks for having me on. And some of the things that you highlighted there with regards to our success is completely due to the fact that we have such a tremendous team. Our staff here is dedicated to our student athletes, and they make me look good, quite frankly. And there's so many people behind the scenes who make this clock run and make it run smoothly. So really thankful to our entire athletics department for putting us in a position to be able to serve our student athletes so well. As far as, I don't know, Eddie, I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. As you can see, I'm a former college baseball player. I had a chance to play professional baseball in the Yankees organization for a few years. I'm an only child, so I'm spoiled. I try not to be rotten, just acknowledge the fact that I'm spoiled. My parents loved me too much, maybe. But it's made me who I am. I've loved playing sports. I played baseball, basketball, football, soccer growing up. I try to teach that, and my wife tried to instill, what sport brings to someone's development with our young kids. They're required to play sports. They don't have to be good. They just have to play. I bounced around a little bit. I think I've lived, as we were talking kind of pre-show, I've lived everywhere but the southwestern part of the country. And it's been really cool to travel to all these different places, to live in these different places. 2 of our kids were born in South Bend, Indiana, where my wife and I both went to school. Our third was born in Oxford, Mississippi, when we were at Ole Miss. We're not going to have a 4th here at Auburn, for those who may be interested. I know our young one is interested in having another one, but we're done. But I've truly enjoyed just getting a chance to interact with so many different types of people from across the country, from various walks of life, from various communities. It's made me a more well-rounded person, a more appreciative person, and just someone who it's reminded me how thankful we are to have what we have. And I try to approach every day in that regard.
So there's something that you have that is hard to find, and that is that you are really the poster child of what that college athlete can do as far as building their career and eventually finding themselves using all the skill set learned and put into practice in a professional way. hopefully we'll have a little more time in the show to discuss that. But that's something that is so unique to you that as we talk through the coaches and the athletes, and I'm hoping you can share, give us some insight on what that was like for you in continuity.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that'd be great. So, really quick, let's talk about the team. Let's talk about what the ethos of Auburn athletics is. And to do that, we've got a quick video.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or else we will perish together as fools."
Learning to live together as a family.
One Auburn family.
A family where everyone feels valued, understood, and respected.
Where our differences are celebrated.
Where we understand that we're all more alike.
Awesome. War Eagle. Yeah. The ethos of the Auburn athletic family. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I mean, that video takes me back. I've only seen the full production of that twice, and this is the second time I've seen that. But it moves me because what we do in our department speaks to what we need to do in our lifetime as citizens of this wonderful country, and that is embrace the differences of each other, learn about other people, challenge our own selves and our own thinkings, our own learnings, and do so as a collective unit, right? And sport is such a great educational tool because we are, in order to be successful, you have to be a team. Even golf, which is an individual sport by and large, is that you're depending on 4 other competitors to do their jobs, to handle their responsibilities, and that's how that's how we make progress, is knowing that we each bring something different to the table and using those uniquenesses to our advantage. And that's the beautiful, that is the beautiful part. It's part the ethos of what we do, but more importantly, I think it allows us to be ourselves in an environment that allows us to add value to an overall larger picture. We educate in athletics, right? But we use sport to do so. And it just so happens that we're followed quite closely in what we do. And you know, it's funny, I was talking to the group of honor students last year. I said, you know, you are the best at what you do. And you may not be the smartest, but you're the best, right? And so I said, imagine if you have an exam on Friday, and leading up to that Friday, everyone around campus is talking about how you're going to do on this exam, right? They're all speculating on if you're going to do well, what questions you're going to get wrong, what questions you're going to get right, and what your final score is going to be. And then as you're taking the test, there are people who are critiquing, you know, I knew they were going to make that decision, or why did they do that? And then after this exam, right, this exam gets posted all over campus, and you have to walk around and listen to people talk about armchair quarterbacking, if you will, this exam that you took. Well, that's the life of our student athletes every day, right? They're critiqued prior to, during, and after. And that's a critique that is very hard to understand and what it's like to go through that. And that's what makes our student athletes unique. And it's really cool to see them grow and mature during their time on our campus.
You know, having said that, there is an impact there's a full scope and impact that athletic, and it's been discussed a lot lately because of COVID, right? The impact that athletic has on the university, not just ours, but nationally. And I know it's an arena that you've been discussing, and some of these conversations you've had about how to work through COVID, how to give these students and coaches an opportunity to stay healthy and still compete. I mean, that's a dance. Um, right? I mean, it really is. It's a tough dance. I can imagine it's a dance, right? I'm not in it, but I see what you guys are doing, and it's thrilling. We'll talk about football in a few minutes for those who are watching the show, and we'll have questions coming through from our viewerships that I'll post to you. We'll definitely talk about football and the rest of the sports that are coming up because we're in that week, right? We've got our first game coming up on Saturday, which I'm excited about. But tell us about what this impact is. What is the full scope of athletics overall to a university?
Well, that's a great question, Eddie. And a lot of people will talk about athletics as the front porch. So if we think of a home, right, and we think of a neighborhood, and if you're buying a home, for example, right, you're going to drive up and down the street, you're going to check out the neighborhood, the house that you're zeroing in on. You're gonna look at the landscaping, right? You're gonna look at the grass, and look at the flowers. You're gonna look at the front door. You're gonna kind of get a sense on what this curb appeal is. And athletics is that curb appeal, by and large, right? We draw people into wanting to walk into our house and take a look around. And so if it's not the most important thing, right? It's not going to it's not going to make or break the home per se, because the home is based on the people who are in it. But it does give people a chance to say, I like that, or whoa, I don't. And we get critiqued for the good and the bad. And thankfully at Auburn, there's a lot more good, right? But we're imperfect people, and we're fallible. We're going to make mistakes. But our core goal, right, is to raise the profile of our institution, to raise the value of our home. And so that when people drive by, it makes them want to walk in. It makes them want to learn more about our home. And that's the beauty that athletics brings, is it's able to bring a number of people together for something that's going to add value to our institution and to their lives.
Well, listen, I'm proud to be an Auburn employee and an Auburn fan. You make my home look good. You and the coaches and the team. Michael Floyd says he loves you, A.D. Greene. Nita Stone says their family loves you. Stephanie Stutz says thank you. You're already getting lots of love from Facebook. And naturally, it's not a secret that those that have seen you in your tenure appreciate everything that you've done. Let's talk football. We've got a video for that.
Let's talk football.
And they move on to Atlanta next week for the SEC title. I have never seen a team like this. I haven't either. Comes Sterling. He's going down.
Big Cat Bryant.
Okay, up 25. There goes Grant, 40.
Here goes Schwartz, and it is touchdown, Tigers.
He's inside the 40. He's down to the 30. He may go the distance. The Tigers are SEC champions for the 8th time.
It's my pleasure to present the 2010 SEC Championship Trophy to the Auburn Tigers.
That's what I'm talking about right there. So in the next 6 minutes, we've got 6 minutes left. We've got a lot to cover. I really want to extend this show. So tell us what we should expect this weekend. I know that it is the football game, and we are going to win. But what about the game day experience? What can you tell us for those that are coming in? and want to experience that as much as they can within this COVID time, what can they expect?
Yeah, sure. And knowing that we have a short amount of time, I'll go through this really quickly. We have three major goals, right? Provide a safe and secure and healthy environment to our fans. We want to be efficient in our operation, and we want to have a great game day experience for our student athletes and for those attending. So we do health screening for our vendors and for our staff. We're doing temperature checks for our fans. We've got an AU clean team who cleans frequently touched surfaces. We've got cashless ticket office and concessions and novelty stands. Unfortunately, there's going to be no official tailgating and no RVs on campus. But for the 11 o'clock game on Saturday, we've got new LED lights. So we won't be able to break them out necessarily the way we want them, but we've got that capability, and we're really excited about what we've got coming up. And we hope those who are coming to either to town, to campus, into the stadium, have a great time and are safe in doing so.
Thank you for sharing that information. I know it's helpful. Many have wondered. There's a couple more comments. Gail Jackson Crowell says, War Eagle. Michael Hanley says, congrats on being selected as the top facilities in the nation. It's a lot of great things happening at Auburn. The other great thing that's happened, Allen, is the way that the student athletes have participated in community events and have also been a voice in the social justice. In the last 4 minutes that we've got, I just want to show a quick video to highlight some of what they've done. And then if you can talk to us briefly about the beyond the entertainment aspect of an athlete.
Sure. Well, today is about helping build the community, rebuild our community, and our student athletes are leading this charge, and I'm fortunate to have my counterpart from Alabama here to help support, and we're just happy to be able to contribute to rebuilding our community.
We're all part of the state of Alabama, and obviously we have the rivalry, and that's an important part of what helps define the state. But when you have challenging times collectively in the state of Alabama, both Alabama and Auburn have done always a really good job of coming together. That happened in Tuscaloosa when we had the devastating tornadoes up there. Auburn came up and helped us out, and it's important that we come and do the same thing.
We're one big family down here, so I mean, in order for us to say that, we got to preach it. So I mean, just being able to come here and help give back to people that give us so much every day in and day out. I mean, all these people are working people, and then on Saturday they come out and cheer our songs. So I mean, they're no more busy than we are.
We've been fortunate enough to come out here as a team a couple times and get a chance to come back out again for such a great cause. You know, a lot of our players are here. A lot of other sports from Auburn are here too. Just honored and blessed to be a part and be able to help any way we can.
I mean, that just shows, I mean, how dedicated we are to helping each other on and off the field. I mean, as the SEC, we always say the brand is.
That was a great video showing some of the ways that we've helped. These are just pictures of what the athletes did. We've got 2 minutes left, Allen, and can you share with us what that is? What beyond the entertainment means to you?
Yeah, number one, I've never worked at a school that has had such a great town-gown relationship as Auburn does, the university and the community. And that speaks volumes to a long history of people who care about the community and those who recognize that it's about more than themselves. As I think about, race in America, social injustice, I've had to learn a lot myself. I mean, obviously as a Black man, I've experienced prejudice and a number of different things. But really my responsibility here is to lead our student athletes and lead our coaches. And I've walked along this journey as well. And some things that I think about are the term intersectionality, and knowing that our young people on our sports teams are not just athletes, right? They are citizens of our country. They are students on our campus. They are brothers, they are sisters, they are, some of them are parents, some of them are grandkids, right? They're cousins, they're brothers, they're sisters. And so it's a web of spaghetti, if you will. And our young people also have a yearning desire. Generation Z, as I'm learning, has a yearning desire to change the world, regardless of what it is. And they expect that their contributions are going to have an impact. And our responsibility as educators is to help guide them through that journey. I also think about, Eddie, I'm sorry, but this is important. I want to touch on this.
Please do.
I think about—
Close out on this.
Okay. I think about intent versus impact. And again, this is this learning, this journey. So many of us have such great intent when we do something. But some of us don't always realize what the impact is going to be. And so I think in times like what we're going through now with all this division, we're really focused on what the impact of actions are, and we're not paying enough attention to what the intent is. And that's for, whatever your thoughts are. We need to be more intentional about thinking about intent, and we need to drill down on why people are doing what they're doing, on whatever side of the fence you fall. And then lastly is just making sure that, we are operating with empathy. There's too often times we react to something and we don't sit and think about, I wonder what, let me try to put myself in this person's shoes. And maybe that'll give me a deeper understanding of why they're doing what they're doing. So those are some things that we try to help educate our student athletes about.
Thank you, Allen. We appreciate you joining us, sharing who you are, giving viewership something different. Until next time, stay safe and War Eagle.
Thanks, Eddie. War Eagle.